All right, so what is going on, my people, small axe community? It's me, Nico. Today, guys, I'm coming at you with a challenge. Let's get a deal under contract this week. Yeah, not next month, not next quarter, not next year, this week. I know a lot of you have been learning, reading, analyzing, dreaming, and maybe even underwriting a lot, but it still hasn't paid off, or you still haven't been able to get a deal, or you still haven't pulled the trigger. So today's episode is your blueprint. We are cutting through the excuses and getting tactical. I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to do today, right now, right after this podcast, to get a deal under contract now, even if you're brand new. Let's swing that axe, my peeps, and let's make something happen today. All right, let's start off with a quick mindset shift. You will never feel 100% ready. Nobody does. I don't. I'm even intimidated right now as we speak, as I'm considering getting another deal under contract myself. This is how it goes. I've been there. I am there. Too many people wait until they know everything, but deals don't go to the smartest people. They go to the people who take imperfect action, and that's what I need you to do. Take action, imperfect action, but don't get into a bad deal, okay? I got to be clear. Submitting an LOI doesn't mean you're married to the deal. It just means that you're in the game and you're taking swings, okay? An LOI is non-binding, so it gives you a shot and that's it. So let's stop waiting for the perfect moment and let's create some momentum. It is important to understand and realize that the more swings you take, the more opportunities and chances you have to actually land a deal. So it doesn't have to be perfect, right? No deal will ever be perfect. Let's get that clear. There will always be certain challenges, nuances, and things that will come up during due diligence, before or after ownership or whatever. There's always going to be some challenges. So nothing is ever perfect. So what I need you to do is understand that, number one, nothing is ever perfect. Number two, the more swings you take, the more chances you have to knock a ball out of the park. All right, now let's get a little bit more granular. So if you're going to win a deal ASAP, like today, tomorrow, the next day, you need to be making offers, as I said. In order to do that, I want you to pick one target market. I don't care if you're looking at 5 markets. I don't want you to look at 5 markets today, even if you are and you know 5 markets very well, to find that next deal. I want you to look at one market today, tomorrow, and the next day until you land a deal. I want you to have your credibility kit ready, your one-pager ready, whatever, or your broker relations ready. If you're already well established in a few different markets or even one market, excellent. You go to that one market, you reach out to every single broker, you ask what is available, you ask them what has not sold in a while, you ask them which property do you think I could win today if I had an aggressive enough offer, okay? And then you're going to get a few replies, and then from there, you go to Crexy, LoopNet, and you find everything that you could possibly find, and you start underwriting all those deals. Let's say you get 20 deals today that you can underwrite. You weed some of them out based on your target criteria. You weed some of them out based on maybe you've looked at them already. You weed some of them out based on the price point, etc. Break it down to where you can manage underwriting as many deals as possible today, okay? It might have to be 5 to 10 that you underwrite today. It doesn't have to be perfect underwriting. You just want to get it done. Basic underwriting today. You have to know as well what your financing is going to be for each property. You have to be all well established and well aware of how you're going to have the capital ready, or whether or not you're going to raise the capital, etc. But don't stress about all of this. I want you to find a minimum of 10 opportunities right now by first reaching out to all of the brokers you know in that one target market, then going on Crexy, LoopNet, etc., finding as many deals as possible, then going to a Facebook marketplace if you're striking out and not getting many deals, and you go to Facebook, a Facebook group, and find a group, a local real estate, commercial, multifamily real estate group in that area or of your target market. Search and start chatting with people. Okay, now I want you to pop in a few offers. So after you're done underwriting today, you could spend all day today underwriting. What I want you to do next is get your offers ready by tonight or tomorrow, and you submit them first thing in the morning the next day after you have underwritten all of your deals. Whether it be 5 or 20 deals that you underwrote, you're going to make some offers. I don't care if you underwrite 20 deals and offer on 5. I think that's excellent. If you underwrite only 5 deals, I want you to offer on at least 3 of them, okay? Of where it makes sense for you, because you never know what's going to happen. I'm not saying to change your pricing. I'm not saying to adjust the numbers at all. I would never tell you to do that. In fact, I'm telling you to stick to your guns, to stick to the math that works for you, the numbers that works for you, understanding everything that you know about the deals today, about the economy today, and how to underwrite. Everything that you know needs to go into this, and you need to get ready to make your offers ASAP. So tomorrow, I want you to offer on a minimum of 3 properties, and I'm talking about an LOI. If you need an LOI template, this non-binding LOI, just reach out to me. I will send you one. I have plenty of templates that you can use, or even easier, have the broker create an actual contract for you and just submit it for you. When you're talking to the brokers, I want you to be upfront. If you have a long-standing relationship with them, say, hey, come on, bro, I'm getting really tired of this. I want to get a deal under contract. Which deal do you think would be the best for me? What is closest to selling? Which fits my buy box and my criteria the most? And let's kind of go after it right now. Let's see what we can do. Let's see how we can entice the seller. You don't necessarily have to come up in price to entice a seller. Sometimes what they're looking for is proof of funds, somebody that can actually close a deal. If you have it, awesome. If you don't, skip this. Sometimes they're looking for a quicker due diligence and a quicker turnaround, meaning if you know that you can get a bank loan in 45 days, you can offer a 45-day close with a 21-day due diligence to start. And you might get them to engage with that. And if they engage and you feel like they're still a little bit hesitant, say, all right, we'll do a 15-day due diligence period. Don't make your money go hard, okay? You still need 15 days to look at the property and do your financial due diligence, your physical due diligence, etc., and then you can always back out. But you can be more aggressive on your DD period. Why not? I don't see why people are afraid to go a little bit more aggressive as long as you have the time to actually get all the work done. That's one strategy that you can use to be a little bit more aggressive and entice a seller to sell at a lower price point, which would work for you. When you're talking to the brokers, it's important to ask them as well, say, hey, I know everything that's been on market and I've looked at it and I've offered on this and that, or I passed on these for these reasons, etc. Is there anything that you see off market or as a pocket listing that may be coming up soon that I could take a swing at? I guarantee you, if you talk to enough brokers, 5 to 10 of them, you'll get one at least, an off market or pocket listing. Don't be afraid to ask, guys. They're looking for it. I, as a seller, talk to brokers all the time, and they know what deals I have ready to sell. So if they're speaking with a potential buyer, they're going to mention that, oh yeah, I have a guy that might sell this property for around this price. Let's engage with that person. So don't be afraid to ask a broker for a pocket listing or an off-market deal. Now, when you submit your LOI, I don't want you to freak out about it. So some of you, as my listeners, are brand new. Some of you are intermediate or even experienced investors. The intermediate and experienced investors know that you can submit LOIs. I swing LOIs all the time. I shoot them out all over the place. Now, if you're afraid to shoot an LOI out, don't be. You can always back out of it, and it doesn't show bad face on your end. It's not like something bad. However, now you, on your end, if you are brand new and you're afraid to submit an LOI, just do it. What's the worst that could happen? They accept it. Then it's game on, and you get to the opportunity to go through due diligence and close on a deal. Go for it. And if they say no, oh well, move on to the next. Or reconsider your offer, maybe offer more or different terms, as I stated earlier, because sometimes terms are more important than price. And you never know until you submit that offer. So submit an LOI tomorrow. I'm going to challenge you to submit at least 3 offers tomorrow. After you submit your offers, I want you to follow up with the broker. You give them 24 hours and then follow up. Hey, how was my offer received? What was the response from the potential seller? Do they like my offer? What did they like? What did they not like? And you might be able to tweak things here and there. Again, not raising your price point, but you might be able to tweak things to entice the seller to sell to you. And you know what? Even if you don't win any of these deals, which you likely will not, even if you don't win these deals, you're building better rapport and a better relationship with the broker who likes the fact that you're making offers. They have to make money too. In order for them to make money, they have to transact. They have to sell deals. You want to be that special buyer for that broker to help them make money. Right now, you might be thinking, well, what if you don't have the money to close on a deal right now? That's fine. You're buying time, guys. I typically write in a 45 or 60-day contract, which gives me time to get things ready. And I also bake in a few extensions so we could push it out 75 or 90 days if necessary. Okay, so don't freak out. You'll find it. You'll find the money somehow. And if you don't, oh well, you don't. You pull out right before due diligence ends and you don't lose any money. Again, when you're writing your offer, you want to have like your EMD, right, your earnest money deposit. is not going to go hard, meaning you give that deposit for the duration of the due diligence period, and then it goes hard after the due diligence period. So you have time to back out after you get into the financials, after you go check out the property physically, and after you speak with all of your relationships for capital. If you don't have the capital yourself, this due diligence period is the time when you're going to reach out to all of your potential investors and see if they would be willing to invest. And if not, and if you strike out, then you back down after the due diligence period with a good reason. Say, hey, I didn't like the property for X, Y, and Z. I'm going to back out. So let's recap what you have to do right now. You have to find as many deals as possible. I want you to underwrite anywhere from 5, a minimum of 5 deals, to 20 if you're going to challenge yourself. And it doesn't have to be full underwriting except for a few of them that you're going to submit your offers on. Between today and tomorrow, you're going to underwrite a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 20 deals. You're going to create an LOI for a minimum of 3 of these properties, and you're going to submit those LOIs within the next couple of days. You're going to follow up with the brokers, and you're going to see if you win anything. And if you do, awesome. And if you don't, awesome. Because again, you're still building good rapport, good relationships with the brokers, which goes a very long way, trust me. All right, here's a few more tips with your LOI. When you are drafting your LOI, or if you have the broker draft the LOI or contract for you, okay, you want to bake in you want to start with a typical 30-day due diligence period, okay? So that there's typically a 30-day due diligence period, and you get your basic price point and your closing day, let's say 60 days out. So I typically start with 60-day close, but 30 days of that is due diligence. And then if the seller is enticed by your offer, or at least willing to engage, but a little bit hesitant, then you can say, instead of increasing your price point, because I always want you to stay at a price point that is comfortable for you. You never want to increase your price point if it doesn't make sense. But if the seller is willing to engage with you, they're fine with the price point, but they're a little bit hesitant. What you do next is you start changing the terms of your offer, not the price. Extremely important. So you're going to say, okay, fine, I'll do a 21-day due diligence period and a 45-day close. And you slip in there 1 or 2 extensions for closing. 1 or 2 15-day extensions for closing at a cost of $5,000 more that you will need to deposit. Something like that. I would give yourself a minimum of 15 days for due diligence. So if they don't like the 21 days, go drop it down to 15 days. But still make sure that your EMD, your earnest money deposit, which is typically 1% of your purchase price, let's say it's $1 million, you're going to give a $10,000 EMD today. It's refundable. Make sure that it is refundable until the due diligence period ends. It's okay to go hard after due diligence, but you would need it to be 100% refundable for whatever reason you choose before due diligence ends. This way, you are safe and you can just walk away from any property and get your money back within the 15 days. Here's a pro tip, though, and some advice that people tend to overlook. You are going to be spending money. So if you're not willing to spend some money here, you're going to lose money if you walk away from the deal. If you're not willing to lose some money, then don't even do this, okay? But if you want to be in this game and you want to be a multifamily investor, you have to understand that you're going to be spending money. Here's what I mean. When you get under contract, when you begin your due diligence period, you have to start some inspections. What we typically do is we request the financial due diligence first. We give ourselves a day or so to look at financial due diligence while we schedule the physical due diligence a few days out, okay? And this gives us the opportunity to verify first the financials. If the financials are completely out of whack, that gives you an opportunity to renegotiate a little bit before doing your actual physical due diligence, meaning having an inspector go in and inspect every unit and the roofs and everything, because that costs money. It could be a minimum of $1,000. It could be upwards of $2,500. It could be depending on how big the property is. And that money you're not getting back. So if you want to make sure that you save as much money as possible, you start with the financial due diligence, meaning you dive into the numbers, you request all of the utility bills, and you request the leases, etc. And once you figure out that everything checks out to what you had originally thought, excellent, you move forward with the scheduled inspection and you pay the inspector and do the inspection. Now, if things don't work out and they don't check out financially, it's okay. It's not a deal stopper, but you might have to renegotiate. And if the seller is unwilling to negotiate, you just saved yourself some time and money by not doing the actual physical inspection, which costs you money. That's one tip. So even if you're going to get your earnest money deposit back of $10,000 that you deposited, you will still be out at least $1,000 if you have to inspect the property. Now, that's why it's important, again, like I said, to do the financial due diligence first. It's a quick tip. Okay, now, if you're not getting the broker response that you want, they're not responding to you, make sure you have my credibility kit. Make sure you filled out your one-pager, you completed it, and you submitted it to all the brokers. They will respond to you eventually. Just keep reaching out. I show you exactly how to reach out to brokers using my credibility kit with my email templates and how to respond to them, etc. I also offer a vocabulary practice quiz that you could take. It's just like flashcards online, very simple, to help you build your vocabulary and get knowledgeable for when speaking with brokers. I want everybody to remember, you don't need a giant axe here. You just need your small, sharp axe, and you need the guts to take swings every single day. So what I want you to do, guys, I want you to get pumped. I want you to drink a bunch of coffee. I want you to drink a Celsius, a Monster Energy drink, whatever you do a workout, do yoga, get your mind ready, get your body ready. Underwrite 5 to 20 deals right now, today and tomorrow. Get at least 3 offers ready via LOI. Shoot them out tomorrow or the next day, the latest, and start engaging and see what happens. Why? Because I want you to get a deal and I love you. All right, and that's a wrap, Small Axe community. So I wanted to take a minute to say thank you so much for listening to the show. And if you liked it or got any value from it, it would really mean the world to me if you would share it with someone else and write a review. Remember, guys, keep sharpening those axes. Let's get out there. Let's crush it. Love you guys.